Hello, it's again Modified Rabbit. I saw a post on Facebook that made me remember that I needed to make this video. This is about scratchers, okay? Professional tattoo artists, people that are certified like me, that have had training in, not just the art part of tattooing, but the sanitation part of tattooing really, really dislike scratchers, and guess why? A big, big reason is because they infect people or put people at risks. Not only their customers, but themselves. Okay, first of all, I want to inform all of you, whether you be a scratcher or a customer, that household chemicals don't cut it for cleaning up. I'm sorry, but they don't. There are, a little bit of the training that we go through is bloodborne pathogens. That's one of our certifications, which you could even go get yourself informed at a Red Cross and get your certification for bloodborne pathogens. Do that if you're, at least, I mean, if anything, to just get yourself, educated. Get a book from there and just study it even. I mean, you don't even have to go in there and take the damn test and pay for that. You just go get the book and get yourself, get the knowledge. But okay, first off, the setup process and whatnot. Well, first off, the area that you're tattooing in has a big thing to do with it. Okay, you cannot be tattooing in places that have absorbent surfaces, like chairs, the chair that you have your person sitting in. If you're having them lay on a pillow, it needs to be covered in something that's not absorbent. The table that you have your equipment and ink on, the floor, because ink spatter. Okay, it's gonna happen. It's gonna drip or spatter somewhere, and you cannot have, an absorbent floor and stuff that's gonna, once you stick that needle into someone and then stick it in an ink cap, it's got blood in it. Okay, and customers are not legally required to tell you if they have something. Most people don't know anyways. So you've got blood going wherever. Okay, so that's just the first thing. The place that you're tattooing in needs to be, a proper place for tattooing. And, even some of us like me, even if I'm in a proper place, I still like to try and, sometimes I'll still, cover it in plastic wrap. So, also for the tattoo artists themselves, a good thing to have is like a mask or an apron of some kind, so then that blood and stuff doesn't get, spatter into your clothes or onto your face, because I've honestly had that happen to me because they didn't supply that kind of stuff at one of the shops I was at, and they're that's just anyways, setup process and stuff. Yeah, it's good to spray down your area before that, and the chemicals like maticide and stuff you have to actually go get and order from places. It's not a household cleaning chemical like just for houses. This is like shit you would use at like hospitals and stuff like that. It kills a lot of shit. Bag your machines. You get ink spattering up into those machines, and not everybody takes apart them. You don't always have time to take apart your machine between tattoos, and I about guarantee you scratchers don't take apart the machine anyways and clean it properly. So bag it. You can get fucking cheap baggies at a fucking, you know like those little sandwich bags, not the Ziploc ones, but just the sandwich bags. Fucking get those if you don't have machine, fucking bags. Um, Clipcord covers. That clipcord will drag across your skin, at some point possibly, while during the tattoo. And if that's dirty and it's got, ink and dirt and shit on it from, the last tattoo that scratcher did, and that's dragging across your fresh open wound is what your tattoo is. Yeah, have fun with that, because you could possibly get infected from that too. Okay, so you need, clipcord covers. Make sure they have clipcord covers. If you're going to someone, make sure they have all this stuff when they set up. Bag on their machine, clipcord covers. Make sure that the package that the needle is in is brand new fucking package. Make sure that the package that their tubes are in is brand new fucking, unopened. It's not, don't just let them grab a tube from wherever and say, oh, I cleaned it. That's, no. Okay, if they're from a house too, they don't clean their tubes properly. They think, oh, soap and water. No. Okay. There's chemicals that you're supposed to use to clean those too, because, and, you know, certain things that you use to clean those, because that ink gets in everywhere in that tube, everywhere, and that shit dries to it and stuff, so you have to clean those properly, and you can't just wash them off in water and then that be done. Okay, you need to put them in a pressurized and heated place after you're done scrubbing them, and you put them in a package, and you put them in the pressurized, like what the autoclaves are. They fucking pressurize that shit and heat it up to extreme heat. It kills everything that you didn't get with, you know, like just cleaning it and stuff, all the germs that didn't, you know, that don't go away from that. So they don't do that stuff. Scratchers don't do that. Okay. Okay. Another thing is, let's see, their ink caps and stuff. Like I said, that ink gets everywhere. It's gonna get on you, it's gonna get on them, it's, you know, so you wanna make sure all that stuff is clean. And when they clean up afterwards, I about guarantee you most of them think that a regular household cleaning chemical is fantastic and that's it. You know, no. I'm sorry, but no. And also, you're supposed to you're not supposed to throw your damn needles in the garbage can. What the fuck? You gonna let your local garbage man get infected from possibly getting stabbed with that needle? You have to have biohazard containers, and you stick those fucking needles in those biohazard containers, and you know you keep your tubes in a container that is sealed properly so that you can, you know, you take your gloves and you go to clean them, you know, so that you don't want to. And also gloves, that's another thing. If they aren't wearing gloves, fuck off. Go somewhere else anyways. But like you have to wear your gloves. Like if you touch anything with those gloves, don't let them put their hair up when they have the gloves on and then go to tattooing you. Stop it. Okay, I've seen that happen. I've even seen it happen in shops. I go through gloves a lot, because if they're dirty at all, like with a bunch of ink on them or something, then I switch them out. And if I need to, you know, do something, get more ink, you do not need to be wearing those gloves while you're getting more ink if you run out. Okay, you take your gloves off, fucking throw them away, get more of your ink, and don't fucking touch the caps that you just used with your hands or whatever. If you need to, just fucking put more gloves on, get your ink, and take those off, because you already fucking touched something that gets touched normal every day, whatever. That's a possibility of whatever. So just gloves and switching your gloves. Okay. That's all basic stuff right there. Okay, that's all basic stuff. I cannot stress to you enough why you shouldn't get tattooed by someone out of a house. Okay? They don't know any better. They don't have their certification. They are in a shop because they can't be in one, because they don't have their certification. They were probably not trained properly to even do the tattooing. Okay, with a tattoo, it's not just artwork. Okay, you can't just anybody that does good art cannot just tattoo automatically. That takes training. I'm not even up to the level of my regular drawing art with tattooing yet, because you have to learn how to be light-handed. You can't just dig in. Okay, you're gonna get scarred up and shit, and if you get scarred up, it's very likely that you're not gonna be able to get rid of that. I'm sorry, but that's really scarred up shit is hard to cover up and shit. It won't take any more ink. Okay, so you're fucked. So it's very likely you'll get shitty artwork. You might get infected. It's a very big possibility you'll get infected, and you won't even know it. You know, and you might get scarred up. It's very likely you'll get scarred up. So I mean, just because they do decent artwork and shit, and you think it's really good artwork, you know, and it's cheap. Oh my god, I want a tattoo so bad, but I can't afford it. Save up your fucking money, because it's fucking worth it, okay? It's worth your health, it's, you know, worth your safety, it's worth that nice piece of artwork that you're gonna get going to a professional. And when you go to professionals, there's certain states that don't have a lot of requirements for you to work in a shop, and there's certain shops that I've seen that don't check if you're certified or not. So you need to make sure you check through their portfolio. When you go to a shop to check for a place, check through that for their portfolio. You check for, you know, their certification. They should maybe have it on a wall or on them specifically, you know, in their wallet. You know, ask for that. And, you know, look around. Like I said, keep an eye out for that stuff, the bagging of the machines and everything, you know. Just please protect yourself, because it's not only protecting you, but it's protecting the artist as well doing that stuff. Okay? So just protect yourself and keep informed. So when you go and try and get pissy at me for going off on a rant at you for going to a scratcher, just know that it's for your safety and that I care about your safety that I'm saying that. Okay? Great. So have a nice day, and hopefully you guys are more informed on that. Bye.